Imagine looking out your window and seeing a tornado nearly 1 mile wide racing toward your home, not minutes away, not hours away, just seconds. On May 3, 1999, the town of Moore, Oklahoma became the target of one of the most violent tornadoes ever recorded on Earth. Winds reached over 300 miles per hour. Entire neighborhoods vanished. Cars became flying missiles. Homes were ripped from their foundations. And in just a few terrifying minutes, thousands of lives changed forever. This wasn't just another tornado. This was nature at its absolute worst. The United States experiences more tornadoes than any other country in the world. But every so often, one storm stands above all the rest. The Moore tornado of 1999 wasn't just powerful, it rewrote history. Meteorologists watched in disbelief as radar showed a storm unlike anything they had ever seen. Residents received emergency warnings. Some rushed into shelters. Others had almost no time to react. No one knew they were about to witness one of the most destructive tornadoes ever documented. It started like many spring afternoons across Oklahoma. Warm, humid air flowed north from the Gulf of Mexico, while colder, drier air pushed in from the west. Meteorologists immediately recognized the danger. The atmosphere had become extremely unstable. By early afternoon, severe thunderstorms began exploding across central Oklahoma. Storm chasers raced toward the developing supercells. Weather radars showed rotation becoming stronger by the minute. Then, at approximately 6:23 p.m., a massive tornado touched down southwest of Oklahoma City. Within minutes, it grew larger and stronger, until it became an unstoppable monster heading directly toward Moore. People watching the dark sky couldn't believe what they were seeing. Some described it as a giant black wall stretching from the clouds to the ground. Others said it looked like the end of the world. The monster arrives, 3:30 to 4:40. Narrator. As the tornado raced toward Moore, its size became almost impossible to comprehend. The funnel stretched nearly a mile across. Power lines snapped like toothpicks. Trees were ripped from the ground. Roofs began flying through the air before the tornado even reached nearby homes. Emergency sirens echoed across the city. Television meteorologists pleaded with viewers. "Take shelter now! This is a life-threatening tornado!" Families grabbed their children. Some hid in storm shelters. Others squeezed into bathrooms, closets, and hallways, praying their homes would survive. But for many, nothing could prepare them for what came next. When the tornado struck Moore, it unleashed winds estimated at over 300 miles per hour. Entire neighborhoods disappeared in seconds. Brick homes were reduced to empty concrete slabs. Cars weighing thousands of pounds were thrown hundreds of feet. Schools, businesses, and churches suffered catastrophic damage. The roar of the tornado sounded like dozens of jet engines. People who survived later described complete darkness, flying debris smashing through walls, and the terrifying feeling that the entire house was lifting into the air. When the tornado finally passed, many survivors couldn't even recognize their own neighborhoods. Everything they knew was gone. As the storm moved away, police officers, firefighters, paramedics, and ordinary neighbors rushed into the destruction. They searched collapsed homes with flashlights. They pulled survivors from piles of debris. Doctors treated the injured in overflowing hospitals. Volunteers brought food, blankets, and water to complete strangers. Even in the middle of unimaginable destruction, the people of Oklahoma refused to give up, because when disaster strikes, communities become family. As the sun began to set, the full scale of the disaster became clear. Thousands of homes had been destroyed or severely damaged. Entire neighborhoods looked as if they had been erased from the map. Emergency crews worked through the night, searching for survivors trapped beneath mountains of debris. Families desperately searched for loved ones. Many people had lost everything they owned in less than 15 minutes. Yet, despite the devastation, the spirit of Moore refused to break. Neighbors helped neighbors. Volunteers arrived from across Oklahoma. Communities united to rebuild what the tornado had taken away. The Moore tornado became one of the most studied tornadoes in history. Scientists recorded some of the highest wind speeds ever measured near Earth's surface. It changed how meteorologists study severe weather. Radar technology improved. Warning systems became faster. Emergency planning became stronger. Because of the lessons learned from Moore, countless lives have been saved during tornado outbreaks ever since. Sometimes history is written through tragedy, but its lessons can protect future generations. More than 2 decades later, the people of Moore still remember that terrifying evening. not only for the destruction, but for the courage, the kindness, and the determination to rebuild. The Moore tornado of 1999 reminds us that nature's power is beyond imagination, but it also reminds us that the human spirit can rise even after the darkest storm. If this story moved you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more true stories about America's most powerful weather events. And tell us in the comments, if you had only 10 minutes before a tornado arrived, what would be the very first thing you'd do? Thanks for watching, and stay safe.